Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Model Railway shelf layout. Carrying on from the previous video, we are looking at the engine shed area. Quick overview of the layout so far. This is just on my unit, not on the shelf at the minute, just so I've got easy access. But I'm looking at now adding a light to go in front of the engine shed. So I picked this up from the Battlefield Model Railway event a couple of weeks ago. It comes with 2 wires, and then you can buy a little battery pack and connect it up. It cost me about £5 for the whole thing, and then you got a little light, so really quite nice. So what I've done, I've drilled a hole roughly where I want the light to go, and that's where I can feed the wires through. And now with roughly the light in place, I can pull the wires through, as you can see. And then all I'm going to do, because I'm only planning on using the one light on this layout, I can use a little connector block, connect the lights up to the battery pack, screw the lights together and put battery in the pack, and then simple as that, we have a working light on the layout. Just adds something else to the layout. Don't normally do lights or anything on my layout, so this is the first. And then add a little bracket on just to hold the battery switch in place. So now I've gone back to my model railway sheet. I'm going to cut this one out so it fits this side, stick it on the inside. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut the windows out or not, because you won't really tell when it's up there, because you'll see the windows this side, but I'm not too bothered about the windows that side. So cut it out, and then hopefully I'll just hide this Asia colour, and then I might do the roof, or I might just paint the roof. Well, you might see, we'll see. And then I've got my figures, and I can add that toolbox in for a start, and then I've got a few other bits and bobs I can add in, and then just add a little bit more detail. There it is with the brick sheet. So as you can see through the windows, and then this side, quite nice. I'll just lift it up so you can see what I've done. So that's all I've done. I've covered the windows that side, but obviously you can't see that because they're on that side of the layout. So it's a bit cheating really, but it's quicker, and I didn't have to cut out any nasty windows. So I'm quite happy with that. Add a few bits in and just adds a little bit more detail to it. So happy with that. These are my depot workers, so I'm going to put this inside the engine shed, and then maybe a couple of other workers, and then I can scatter the other ones just around that bit of the yard, and then potentially add maybe 1 or 2 more over this section. But yeah, and then I've also got these ones. I don't think I'm going to probably need these ones, but I might add maybe 1 around, but I might just get rid of them because I don't think I need them for this layout now. So, and then obviously I've got a few engine crew staff, a few more things to add on, but I'm just going to add a few more details now, and then I'll go through them once I've done them. And here's the finished article half an hour later, so I'll go through some of the things I've added. So we've added in a bit of shrubbery, static grass in the siding, underneath the buffer. We've added a van, but if I move that, not a van, recovery sort of van. And then we've got a few things outside of the shed, including a ladder, dustbin and a man. Got a light for the train, or the loco even, pallets, sleepers, some coal. I was going to add a proper little coal bit, but I didn't really have space for it, so I pretend that's behind it. And then obviously we've got a couple of signals. Not being able to add too many in because I haven't got many, but I've added 3. So I've got 1, 2, and there's another one over there. And obviously I've got the big one over there. So signalling sort of done, but need some more. Inside the shed is where I'm quite happy. I've got a man and then a few bits and bobs. So if you're staying from this angle, it just looks like it's actually being used a little bit. So it's quite good. Obviously got a few figures, got 3 figures around the sides. One's looks like it's cleaning the loco, so when the loco comes in, it looks like that. Add a bit of actual ash / coal onto the track, so a little bit here, bit where we'd stop for water, pile of the coal there, and then a little bit here, and a little bit more there. Needed weather the track up, but that's for a later date. Obviously, I've got the light working now. So yeah, so if I come back from this side, so it's actually looking quite done actually, weirdly. I'm really pleased with it. So I think I need to add different background in. You paint this, add a few other little bits, but overall we are more or less there. So that's 2 shelves now looking complete. So just need to make sure all the trains work, I suppose, really, and have a bit of fun actually using the layout. But yeah, looking good so far. So I finally done the first coat pasting the foam, so it sort of blends in a bit more. Bit of touching up to do, but I've done the first layer. And then as you can see, I've also added ends of pencils onto the points. So for example, instead of touching the wire like that one, just touch what I got to do. So the points up there, so and just pull it. So it's a bit easier. So. But yeah, the layout is coming along really nicely. Obviously got the lights down there. Got a couple more of them lights as well, but overall, I've also added some track to this. If I just, because this is a broken engine I've had. It's not really realistic or anything, but I had this broken engine, and I thought, you know what, it makes a bit of a scene. So. Quite happy with that. That is free rolling, so I can also bring that in with a diesel, and same with the tender. But overall, I'm really pleased. And then obviously I've got this side as well, and then I've just got some cheap lights, some LEDs, which just run under, so in the evenings, and say on this one, I've got some light, which is was helpful. So that's the layout from that view. And then if I go this side, that's it from that view. So it's coming on quite nicely. Still a little few bits to do, but majority of it is complete now. So the layout is progressing quite nicely, but where the walls would be behind where the line of PVA glue is, just to try and disguise the front of them a little bit, I've done it on this one, just going to put a bit of foliage just in front, so when the wall's there, just disguise it, blends them in a little bit better. I'm not gluing down the walls because when I move it off, it just makes life a little bit easier, and I potentially quite like seeing the railway from the other side as well, potentially. So I've got my glue down, and now I'm just going to use my 2 bags of different, so I've got medium green and light green. So I'm just going to stick that down there and then let it dry, and hopefully that'll blend in the walls quite nicely. And that's the sort of finished look. I think it blends in the wall quite nicely. I've missing one piece of wall there, I can't find it, I've knocked it somewhere, but it blends the wall in a lot better than before, so quite pleased with that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of the shelf layout build. There's only probably 1 or 2 more left to go now, but make sure you do like, subscribe and leave a comment so you don't miss out on the next one or two. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll just leave you with a couple of trains running.